I understand the stakes.
Object approaching.
If we do nothing, everything on this planet will go extinct, including us.
So the Oscars has just ended and the award season is finally over, and people are pretty tired of watching films from last year, right? And they are excited to look forward to what this year has to offer instead. So they go to the theaters to catch the latest blockbuster, which is directed by an Oscar-winning director and stars major A-listers from the industry. And it's a film that is set in another planet and explores interdimensional space travel. And well, does that sound familiar to you? Well, no, I'm not talking about Mickey 17 because it is the year 2026 and we instead have Project Hail Mary, directed by Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, starring the amazing Ryan Gosling and also what might be the best alien on screen since E.T. Well, more on that later. Now, I don't know about you, but our experience with buying tickets for this film was pretty frustrating, I would say, because what I mean by that is, first of all, this film got delayed by more than a week due to certain more popular mass cinema taking hostage of all the screenings. But even after the opening of the bookings, the showtime for the films were horrendous. Like, it was so bad that me and Onargo actually had to catch the film at two separate dates because I wouldn't do the disservice of watching this film in any other format than IMAX to take in Greg Fraser's breathtaking cinematography. But the only two IMAX screenings in my city were at 7:30 am or 9 pm, which are two very inconvenient timings because considering the film is about 3 hours long when you add up the intervals and the ads. But yeah, that's not gonna stop us. So I did go to catch a houseful screening of this film at the break of dawn at 7:30 am. And the fact that people were cheering loudly for the film at such an early hour speaks volume about how effective it is.
Yeah, I heard that it is happening all throughout India because of a certain film. The IMAX shows of this film are preponed to the early morning shows, which is at 7:30 am. I saw the reviews on it. But yeah, I didn't get to watch it in IMAX, but I did watch it in the second biggest screen after IMAX, which is the laser, 4K laser. But I also had that unique aspect ratio transition that this film infers in it. It is also present in the normal 2D shows of the film. So if you are watching this film, please do watch it in the theaters because it is such a complete theatrical experience. Not just in its visuals, but it also contains these references to these other classics like E.T., Interstellar, Wall-E, and so much more. And it itself just is coloring. And this itself is a very, very wholesome film. It contains everything that we love about cinema. It contains the stories of friendship. It contains stories of existentialism, all wrapped in a sweet little innocent box of emotions. And I heard that Greg Fraser left Dune Part 3 to do the cinematography of this film, and he absolutely stunned us. Mild spoilers, but there's this one scene which I knew nothing about before going into this, where Ryan Gosling, let's say, takes a quote-unquote spacewalk and the screen transforms completely into something really so awe-inspiring. I was shocked and looking at the screen that entire time.
Now, talking about my experience with the film, I was of course blown away with the visuals, and talking about which there is a lot of online discourse about the practical effects used throughout the film, which is of course always a great news to hear, and kudos to the team for achieving what they did. But I do not want those headlines to take away from the VFX artists who spent hundreds or actually thousands of hours working on the film, because the headlines might make it seem like there was no VFX at all in the film, but yeah, trust me, a lot of innovative work was done in that space too. And I feel like this film achieves the perfect balance between practical and computer generated imagery to get the best of both worlds to speak to each other. And a very interesting thought that came to me while watching the film is, well, about the structure of it really, because you see there is a character named Rocky the alien, which I know you will hear about elaborately in hundreds of other reviews, so I don't want to emphasize more on how much of a scene stealer that character is, but rather pull your attention to the writing of the character, which I think is impeccable. Because if you really think about it, it's a character that doesn't portray any similarity to the human anatomy, doesn't speak our language, and is only on screen for about 30 minutes throughout the film. but the writing is so good that by the end you'll be willing to give up your own life for the character, literally. And to put it into perspective, think about when's the last time you met someone for just 30 minutes and by the end their existence mattered more to you than your own. That's really the power of cinema, you see, to keep you in that fleeting moment where the lives of these characters are bigger than yours, and it's all kudos to the amazing screenplay.
At the end of the day, it's a film about every one of us, a common man, a common professor, a selfish guy who later and finally becomes selfless. So please do watch this film, Project Hail Mary, at the biggest screen possible, which is possible for you, of course, and let us know your thoughts in our comments.